Hello, my NaruNyeusi. Welcome back to my channel. Today, for this podcast, the subject is the obsession of Black people with being represented by mixed people. I think the place of mixed race and lighting people into Black community is quite interesting. We can see how they are fetishized because of their light skin and being closer to whiteness, but at the same time always struggle as light-skinned people in the black community because of our so-called privilege. I got the idea for this video because of TikTok from a Pan-Africanist guy who is light-skinned for not mixed. He was talking about all the hate he received simply for being light-skinned. For example, him as a guy, the hate comes from mostly from darker-skinned black men. Just like you can see that when it's a light-skinned black girl, the hate usually comes from darker-skinned black women. In other light, a point that is really interesting. In the black community, there is a hate toward light-skinned and mixed people, but at the same time, black people love the physical appearance of a mixed person. It's I like this hypocrisy and I completely agree with him. A lot of black people, and I'm not talking about identity conscious black people who aren't caught up in this, hate light skin and mixed people because deep down they want to be like them. Think about Tyler. For example, when she acknowledged that she is colored and not black, it created a huge polemic because she didn't identify as a black woman. But is Tyler wrong about it? When I look at Tyler, I see a mixed woman, a colored woman, and not a black woman. We all know that the majority of black people are dark skinned with afro hair. I know black people come in all shades, but here I'm talking about the majority. The majority are dark skinned with afro hair. So no, the problem is not Tyler. The problem is the black community which want to force a mixed girl to identify as a black woman when she isn't one. And I see a lot of black women, I call them colorism crybaby, complain, oh, they are only mixed or light-skinned women representing the main black community. That's true, but only really in the African American community. Because when I watch African movies and series, I see plenty of dark-skinned women as the main character. If you aren't happy with a certain type of content, just don't watch it and go support content that represents you more. What I've noticed in the behavior of these women is that they love to complain, but they hate finding solution to the problem. Personally, I call that jealousy. You want to be like them, but you can't. I don't have pity for these people, whether men or women, because we are the main reason why dark skin is still seen as undesirable. When it's time to complain about colorism, or dark skin is seen as ugly, and all dark skin supposedly bring no privilege, they are right there, but when it's time to take steps to decolonize their mindset and start portraying a more positive view of dark skin, they are nowhere to be found. I did a video on my channel when I said that a pretty dark skinned woman defies colorism, it get punished for it. In that video, we see some men praising a dark skinned woman for her beauty, and get who go upset. Other black women think that people only found her beautiful because she had Eurocentric features. The dark-skinned woman was praised for his beauty was Anokia. At what point does Anokia have Eurocentric features? You can see how insecure these women are. Because of the insecurity of some black women, I decided to create my own black community and distance myself from other black people. To build a strong community, we need to get rid of traitor. That is why I started creating my own community, NaruNyeusi, free of colorism, Pan-Africanism, and praising dark skin and Afro hair. Because what I find disgusting is hating on the exact people who want to look like the most. I don't have any pity for those women. I will also talk about how they are jealous of some light-skinned women, yet they get outside their race and like to praise light-skinned men. Even when certain light-skinned men show clearly disgust toward dark-skinned women, like the monster jailbird, who it is, Chris Brown, for example. I think as a black community, we need to denounce the hate toward light skin and mixed people. If we want a strong community, we need to heal all our traumas. On my channel, I will, of course, highlight dark skinned people, but I don't forget light skin and mixed people who actually identify as black. It made me really angry that at the same time we put mixed and light skinned people on the pedestal for white for being closer to whiteness. We simultaneously punish them for having privilege that were actually accorded to them by the black community itself. In this community, there is so much self-sabotage that we don't even notice how no behavior is just plain schizophrenic. Me as dark skinned woman, I will never condemn someone just because they are privileged. Because everyone has privilege. But we hate no skin color so much that we fail to see no own privilege and instead prefer to hate on light skinned black people. It reminds me of a video of a black girl denouncing how calling light-skinned black men soft refers to masculinization of dark-skinned black women. Once again, what is that? What is that? Whenever a problem concerns light-skinned black men, we always have to drag dark-skinned black women into it, just to attach something negative to them. I already did a video about the feminization of light-skinned black men. Of course, I'm also against this nonsense of calling someone soft just because of their light skin. I'm against all the nonsense stereotype about light-skinned and dark-skinned black people. I'm against the nonsense of hypersexualizing black men with statement, yes, black men cheat or black men have a big dick. This nonsense about the hyper-masculinization of black men and hyper-masculinization of black women or statement like light-skinned people are evil. I just want to do a quick podcast to denounce all of this, and here you can see my thoughts. If you struggle to gain confidence in your blackness, I want you to fill out the Google Doc in the description. We'll contact you within 24 hours. Also, you can like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share and let me know your thoughts in the comment. Query!